when I realized pretty quickly there was nothing I could have done. And then I realized, oh my God, I'm being bullied. Yeah. And what happens is it's not just the person. So there's a power disparity, and there were a lot of enablers around. So the thing was, I knew it was wrong. I knew it was, but it was so confusing because like people would see me being abused in full daylight and nobody stood up for me. Nobody said anything. They acted like it was normal. So I think you really can question your reality.
Welcome to the That's Where I'm At podcast. I'm Laura, happily divorced after spending years with a narcissist. I believe keeping secrets will make you sick and that they always come to light in the end. As women, we're often told to be quiet, don't share your story, don't talk about the things we go through. It's making women sick, sad, and suicidal. We don't have to be on the other side to share our story. This show is for the women still in the middle of the mess, but showing up bravely as they heal. It's time to share these stories with each other so we can learn, grow, and heal together. I'm Laura, and that's where I'm at. Hey, it's Laura. If while you're listening today, something hits a little too close to home, if you find yourself thinking, how does she know exactly what I've been through? It's because I've lived it too. I want to remind you that I offer one-on-one coaching for women who are ready to stop questioning their worth, heal from the mind games, and start reclaiming a life they actually want to wake up to. Check the link in the show notes to book a call today. Now here's the episode. Please take note that this episode may contain subjects that may be triggering to certain listeners. Please take care when listening today. Hi, guys, and welcome back to the That's Where I'm At podcast. Today I have Marla. Marla is a certified Sacred Depths coach trained in NLP, neuro-coaching, and trauma. Her mission is to empower professionals to clear blocks from within themselves and from toxic relationships in the workplace or family. Her approach integrates body, mind, emotions, and energetics. She works with highly functioning, successful professionals who have read all the books, attended all the seminars, tried all the things with some success, yet the problem remains. Hi, Marla. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Laura. I'm happy to be here.
Wow, that is so true. I have had these conversations where you read all the books, you do all the things, or maybe you don't even read all the books because you don't even know what to do, right? And then you go, why is there still an issue? What is going on? So how did you get into doing that?
Well, I had a fairly toxic childhood, not tied to the radiator, but emotionally abusive. And, even as a teenager, I realized something was wrong. I had a lot of anger and I wanted to, I didn't like that. And at the time there was no internet. And I haven't read all the books either, but I read some of the books.
Right.
I got to a lot of the seminars
right.
over the years and have just garnered a lot of stuff and gotten training and also incorporated my own ideas. And I just love it. The healing journey, I'm not sure it ever ends, but you get to a point where it's a lot more easeful. You're not growing through pain.
Right.
And you've developed resilience. And it's just, I want people to know that it's possible. Even after many, many years of trying and trying and trying. I like to say you tried all the things, but you haven't.
Right.
You're still, don't give up on yourself. And in terms of coaching other people, I just love the intimacy of it. I love the connection that you can make, that deep connection, not superficial.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a small talk kind of person. And I just love it. And I also believe like everything that happens to you, or many things that happen, because not everything happens to you happens for you. And I mean, I was doing this for a while, but when I got into more specifically the toxic stuff, I was like, oh, I know a lot about this stuff. And even then I was bullied at work. And I'm not a little fragile petal. I mean, I've had a knife at my neck and I fought back and I was still bullied at work.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So, and I'm glad you say that because It can happen to anybody. The bullying, these toxic things that are going on around us. Tell me if this resonates with you. I didn't even realize some of the things that were going on in my life were abuse or were toxic. As I started to heal and do some work, I was like, oh my God, that was abuse.
I realized that something was wrong. So, I mean, growing up, I knew it was wrong. I didn't have anything to measure it against, but it wasn't right. It didn't make any sense. Yeah. My situation at work where I was bullied at first, like, what did I do to piss off this woman?
Yeah.
And then, so I started to blame myself. Like, what did I do?
Yes.
And I realized very quickly, thank goodness, because sometimes it can take a long time to realize.
Yeah.
In my case, it started from day one at work, and I have a lot of experience at work that with normal people but when I realized pretty quickly there was nothing I could have done. And then I realized, oh my God, I'm being bullied. Yeah. And what happens is it's not just the person. So there's a power disparity, and there were a lot of enablers around.
Yes.
And so the thing was, I knew it was wrong. I knew it was, but it was so confusing because like people would see me being abused in full daylight and nobody stood up for me. Nobody said anything. They acted like it was normal. So I think you really can question your reality.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, that was one of the things, that's one of the conversations I had with my dad, was I was like, after I found out about my ex-husband's girlfriend, who then just happened to be the same girl who was always there, I was like, why isn't anyone saying anything? And he's like, what do you want us to say? You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know what I wanted somebody to say, but you want people to like stand up for you. You want people to help you and say like, this is wrong. I feel like, I know people say, I don't want to get involved or whatever, but it makes you feel terrible as a person. It makes you question. That's how I felt. I was questioning like, wait, is this not wrong? Is it right? I don't know. Because I was questioning myself because I had people saying, well, you guys are divorced. Okay, but she was already there. So that's not, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't count. But it's hard.
Let's get real. Gaslighting isn't just a buzzword. It's that sick, spiraling feeling in your gut when they say, that's not what I said. You always twist things, or you're too sensitive. I was just joking. Yeah, I can totally relate. I spent 33 years with someone who made me feel like I was the problem every time, no matter what. That's why I wrote, You're Not Crazy, Reclaiming Your Sanity and Self-Worth After Narcissistic Abuse. Because you deserve to trust your gut again. You deserve to trust you. And spoiler alert, you were never the problem. Gaslighting is the main tactic of a narcissist. This book won't fix your ex, but it will help you fix your peace. Just check out the link in the show notes to get your copy today. Don't wait to start your healing.
You know what I think it is, Laura? I think people don't like conflict.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so they don't want to enter into it. They don't want to get involved. Yeah. They want it to be easy. They're not thinking about you or me.
Right, right.
Or maybe, even your friends. I mean, the relationship, I think, is a little bit trickier because you do hear stories about people saying, well, they cut off my friendship because I told them, well, you know what?
Yeah.
Then probably it's a good thing they cut off the friendship if they can, right? But I would appreciate it if somebody told me.
Yeah.
And I would believe my friend.
Yeah.
And you can test it out. But I think people just don't want conflict. And they're so conflict avoidant that it's to their own detriment. They become enablers of people who are abusers.
Right. When people are coming to you, what kind of problems are they, maybe what kinds of things are they feeling in their body, or what kinds of things are they feeling? Because maybe, like you said, they've read all the books. I go to the seminars and I read the books, but I feel like I still don't have control of my life, or I still feel like things are happening to me like that, like being bullied or something. So what does it look like when people are coming to you? What kind of state are they in?
Well, what I generally do is start with the presenting problem, which is I'm being bullied by, my in-law, and my spouse isn't sticking up for me or whatever. And then pull that apart, and how do you respond to that?
Okay.
Does it bring up previous trauma from your childhood? And I want to be clear, you don't have to go back to that, but that might be why it keeps occurring. And that is really why I think it is that not everybody does, but a surprisingly large amount of people who experience this had childhood trauma, and it's following them around.
Yeah.
And so now I just turn that around and to use the situation as fodder to heal whatever's going on, whether it was in the past or not, dealing with the current situation right now. And so how does that show up? There could be a trauma response, such as freezing. There could be a big one is fawning, where you're trying to please the person, the people pleasers.
Yeah.
That could be a trauma response.
Right.
It doesn't work. It attracts more people who want to be pleased.
Right.
And it works in the short term. Or you're like me and you start screaming at the person because you just blow. Right. That's the fight. So that's and then so it's regulating the nervous system. And then, of course, tied into that are thoughts and emotions and the energetics.
Right. I think that's interesting because I have done work and have gone all the way back. And the things that I found in my, in my childhood as I did the work weren't so horrible. Right. Mm-hmm. But I could see why I have the patterns I have now. And so that to me was so helpful in helping me move forward. Why I choose the people I do, why I even make the choices I make for myself, why certain times in certain situations I didn't feel like I was worthy or valuable. And it's like, oh, well, no wonder. This was sitting over here. This had been said to me, or this is how I felt. Sometimes it's not even what somebody said to you. It's how you felt in a situation. What I found was that I wasn't being loved the way I needed to be loved. And so I just went looking for it, right? And that showed up in people pleasing and lots of other things, and choosing the wrong people to be in my life. Yeah.
There's different levels, and I think often it is helpful to go back, but some people they don't want to go back.
Right.
It really, you don't want to, and I completely get that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you don't
for sure.
have to. If it's informative, you go back and forth, you dip in a little bit and you come right out.
Yes.
Because it will be triggering until you get it healed. I don't know, blank if it was Freud or Jung said, it's not the event that happens to you. Peter Levin said it. What happens in the absence of an empathetic witness.
Yes. Yeah.
You can bring that up and now have an empathetic witness, which is you or a friend or a therapist or a coach. And that is really, you redefine it. And you can, Kate Bush sang in the old song, you can change the past and the future, because the past is simply memory traces mixed with, your thoughts and beliefs in the moment you bring up those memory traces. And then when you put them down, they get reconsolidated and they're changed. They really are changed. So you can resolve these things.
Yeah. Are you feeling trapped in a relationship that leaves you questioning your worth and sanity? Have you noticed the red flags and decided you can't live one more day in a toxic environment? Whether you've just left or are considering leaving a narcissistic partner, the book, Married to a Nice Guy, Getting Over Narcissistic Abuse is here to guide and support you. In this candid memoir, I share my 33-year struggle in a marriage to a nice guy that was marked by emotional manipulation and abuse, revealing how I broke free and reclaimed my life. If you've been waiting for a sign, this book is it. If you've ever felt isolated, confused, or hopeless in your relationship, Married to a Nice Guy, Getting Over Narcissistic Abuse offers the understanding and guidance you need to break free and start your journey to healing. You are not alone, and you deserve a life filled with love, respect, and happiness. Order your copy today and take the first step towards reclaiming your life. I just love that about the empathetic witness. I feel like that's what I have been doing since my divorce, because I felt very alone. The podcast didn't come around until a little while after I was divorced, but I felt alone, and I felt like that. Like I wanted to be that person. I didn't have a name for it. Now I do, but because I didn't want anyone else to feel this way. I didn't want anyone else to feel alone and like they weren't believed, that they weren't understood, those kinds of things. So that really resonates with me, to be that kind of person. And for even the work you're doing, right? You're that kind of person. You're there to say, I see you, I understand, because I've been through things, even if it's not the same exact thing. We don't have to go through the same exact thing. We just have to be that person. I would hold space for people. That's the most, that's the thing for me, is saying, I see you, I hear you, I believe you. That's been really important, because it's been, some of the stuff's been kind of a lonely journey when you're doing some of this deep healing, because then you do start seeing those bullies and the other toxic people around in the world, right?
Yeah, but I think, through that, again, it's a growth path.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean it's fun. I mean, I chose to use this situation. I mean, I tend to be, to fight or to run.
Yes.
Like, get me out of here. And I was, in this case, I mean, there's been others that showed up in other areas too. And it's like a little bit of whack-a-mole. And it was the biggest way that it showed up. And God, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, shoot. I don't even remember. Rats.
I hate when that happens. It will come to you probably too late for us.
That's okay. That's okay.
But I used it as a growth path, I think was.
Oh,
was
yeah, right. Going. Yes.
And now I don't encounter bully. So I had another one to knock down, and now I don't manifest it in different ways. And now I just don't encounter it anymore.
Yeah. And also, don't you feel like it doesn't bother you? So like you probably wouldn't have the same reaction, or you would know how to react to the bully or to toxic people. I feel like I can react differently now when toxic people are trying to interact with me or trying to demand of me. I feel like it's different. It doesn't like upset me the same way.
Absolutely. And this is the energetic piece. If you're not resonating in a particular, you're not resonating, and we project that and you get all things, but the easy way to say it is you're not attracting that anymore. If you do, it's not, so you're not tuned to that frequency.
Yes. Right.
And so what happens is either like the abuser goes away.
Yeah.
Or you do, or just like easily.
Yeah.
Just kind of fades away, or doesn't bother you anymore.
Right.
You've learned ways to not, and it's probably just not even going to show up.
Right. Right.
But if it does, it's not going to bother you. And if it does, you just keep knocking off those, like I said, so I had another situation and it was less, and I worked through that one in the same way. And so far it hasn't shown up again. That's
good. I was triggered by something, and I was talking to my kids. Thank God they're grown and they go to therapy. And I said, something triggered me. And my daughter was like, yep, because you haven't dealt with that before. That's okay. I'm just like, who are you people? You know what I mean? Like, and it's just a good reminder. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't mean that, and I love it. I don't love when I'm triggered, but I love that when I am triggered, it doesn't knock me down like the way it used to. Like it's quicker.
And she was an empathetic witness.
I know. I just love it so much. I'm so thankful. Thank God for my grown children. I've had a lot of healing with them. So
you grew her.
I know. And I've had a lot of healing. I was very vulnerable with them. We've done apologizing from all the years of the reactive abuse, and that I was a yelly, screamy mom and all those things, because I mean, yes, I could use the excuse that I was in abuse, but also that's the way I was. That's the life I was living. And so we've had a lot of good healing, and it's taken a lot of vulnerability to get there, but we've done the healing. So it's been good.
I invite you to replace the word excuse with that was just the reason. You were triggered. That's a trauma response.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love that. Well, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye, and I'm going to put everything in the show notes, but where can everybody reach out to you if they want to reach out to you?
Well, my website is my name, marlabollak.com.
Okay.
And I'm also on LinkedIn and Facebook, and I have a podcast called The Road to Empowerment, which is on iTunes. And
okay, awesome. Well, we will put all of that in the show notes so people can get a hold of you. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Laura. It was a pleasure to be here.
And guys, if anything resonated with you today, will you please reach out to us? And of course, tell Apple and Spotify that you love us. And so we can keep doing the work. We always need podcast land to love us. And always remember, your voice matters. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Thank you for joining me today on the That's Where I'm At podcast. Did the story today resonate with you? Do you think others would benefit from hearing the stories we are telling? Please go to Apple or Spotify right now to leave a review so everyone in podcast land will know you love the show. We want to continue sharing stories of hope and healing. I'll be back next time. I'll talk to you then.